I shall do it.
Yes? Is there something you wish to discuss? If not, we should hurry. Time is of the essence. Adrala was a bard in the service of Divine Clemens I. During the Second Exalted March, the Schism had split the Chantry into the one we know and the Imperial Chantry in Tevinter. There was much mistrust of the Tevinter Imperium at this time, as you can imagine. Even though the Imperial Chantry forbade blood magic, the Chantry, our Chantry, did not believe them. After all, many of the Tevinter mages, and even their Magister Lords, had used blood magic with impunity throughout history. Together, with the help of the Chantry and its Templars, Adrala wrote the Litany to protect against the mind-controlling abilities of blood mages. I don't see why it shouldn't. Reciting the Litany breaks any existing mind control and prevents future attempts at domination from being successful. I suppose you would not have had much contact with him. He never mentored the apprentices, never taught. He didn't seem to care much for the Circle, only his own advancement. I'm sure Uldred has some redeeming qualities. He probably has a perfectly good reason for not displaying them. Yes, it was so real I could even remember their screams. Terrible screams. Thank you for taking me from that. The images are fading from my mind as we speak. I think I will be all right. Yes? Is there something you wish to discuss? If not, we should hurry. Time is of the essence. Oh, a long story. It all started when I returned from Ostagar. I was at that ill-fated battle, and I survived, barely. I was in no state to travel, so I stayed at Ostagar to recuperate and help the wounded. Uldred, on the other hand, left for the tower almost immediately. When I finally returned here, I found that Uldred had all but convinced the Circle to join Loghain, the man who nearly destroyed us all. I cannot fault the Circle, though. Uldred had a persuasive argument, and how could they have known what happened in Ostagar? That is my suspicion. Uldred always wanted power. Perhaps Loghain promised Uldred the position of First Enchanter once they had dealt with the Blight. Well, I told the First Enchanter Irving what Loghain did on the battlefield. I revealed him for the traitorous bastard he is. Irving said he would take care of it. He called a meeting to confront Uldred. But something must have gone wrong. I emerged from my quarters when I heard the screams. They were coming from the meeting room, and it wasn't long before I saw the first abomination running down a mage. It deteriorated quickly then. It must have, though I don't know for sure. The creatures came from that direction, as far as I could tell. You have seen the demons, haven't you? We will doubtless see more of those, but I fear the abominations more. They are no longer human, and are driven only by their lust for destruction. Your confidence is both inspiring and disturbing. Onward, then.
It shall be done. It's begun. I shall do it. As you say.
sleep again. This trick again? I know what you are. It won't work. I will stay strong. Only too well. Ugh, how far they must have delved into my thoughts.
The boy is exhausted. And this cage, I've never seen anything like it. Rest easy. Help is here.
Ugh, enough visions. If anything in you is human, kill me now and stop this game. You broke the others, but I will stay strong for my sake. For theirs. Sifting through my thoughts, tempting me with the one thing I always wanted but could never have, using my shame against me, my ill-advised infatuation with her. Ugh, a mage, of all things. I am so tired of these cruel jokes, these tricks, these... Silence! I'll not listen to anything you say. Now be gone! Still here. But that's always worked before. I close my eyes, but you are still here when I open them. Don't blame me for being cautious. The voices, the images, so real. Why have you returned to the tower? How did you survive? Good. Kill Uldred. Kill them all for what they've done. They caged us like animals, looked for ways to break us. I'm the only one left.
I think you need a tall mug of ale to calm you down, lad. I may need one myself, come to think.
That was inappropriate, dwarf. But what more could be expected from an ignorant cave-dwelling heathen?
Ignorant cave-dwelling heathen? We met before.
What do you know about the mage's evil anyway? You didn't see what they did to the others. And to think, I once thought we were too hard on you. What others? What are you talking about?
Irving and the other mages who fought Uldred. Where are they?
They are in the harrowing chamber. The sounds coming up from there. Oh, Maker.
We must hurry. They are in grave danger, I am sure of it.
You can't save them! You don't know what they've become. But you haven't been up there. You haven't been under their influence. They've been surrounded by blood mages whose wicked fingers snake into your mind and corrupt your thoughts. His hatred of mages is so intense. The memory of his friends' deaths is still fresh in his mind.
He suffered pain and anguish like few have had to endure. That and his lust for revenge have confused the issue.
Do not presume to judge me, mage! I am thinking clearly, for perhaps the first time in my life. Are you really saving anyone by taking this risk? To ensure this horror is ended, to guarantee that no abominations or blood mages live, you must kill everyone up there!
Thank you. I knew you would make a rational decision.
Rational? How is this rational? Do you understand the danger?
I know full well of the dangers of magic, but killing innocents because they might be Maleficarum is not justice. I know you are angry.
You know nothing! I am thinking about the future of the Circle, of Ferelden! I am just willing to see the painful truth, which you are content to ignore. But what can I do? As you can see, I am in no position to directly influence your actions, though I would love to deal with the mages myself. My cage is Uldred's doing, or one of his mages. Once they're dead, I will be free. No one ever listens. Not until it's far too late. Maker turn his gaze on you. I hope your compassion hasn't doomed us all.
Accept the gift that I offer.
Ah, look what we have here. I remember you. Irving's star pupil. Aldred didn't think much of you then, and I certainly don't see your appeal now. I'm quite impressed you're still alive. Unfortunately, that must mean you killed my servants. Oh, well, they are probably better off dying in the service of their betters than living with the terrible responsibility of independence. We needn't fixate on who killed whom. That doesn't help our relationship. A mage is but the larval form of something greater. Your chantry vilifies us, calls us abominations, when we have truly reached our full potential. Look at them. The chantry has them convinced. They deny themselves the pleasure of becoming something glorious.
You're mad. There's nothing glorious about what you've become, Uldred.
Uldred? He is gone. I am Uldred, and yet not Uldred. I am more than he was. I could give you this gift to win. You and all the mages. It would be so much easier if you just accepted it. But some people can be so stubborn. Resistance! Everywhere I go, resistance! How very inconsiderate! Wait, what do we have here? Why, it's the first enchanter. Come, say hello to your old apprentice, Irving. Don't mind the blood. He's had a hard day.
What have you done to him?
Stop him. He is building an army. He will destroy the Templars, and...
You're a sly little fox, Irving, telling on me like that. And here I thought he was starting to turn.
Never!
That's enough out of you, Irving. He'll serve me eventually, as will you. Killing you would be a waste. Your raw potential, with the strength of a demon behind it, would be unstoppable. I can do that. I can give you power and a new life. Fight if you must. It will just make my victory all the sweeter.
Don't forget the litany. It will thwart Uldred's attempts to control the mages and win this fight for us.
I'm too old for this.
Irving, are you all right?
I've been better. But I am thankful to be alive. I suppose that is your doing, isn't it, Wynne?
I wasn't alone. I had help.
I was surprised to see you standing there. But I am glad you have returned. The Circle owes both of you a debt we will never be able to repay. Come. The Templars await. We shall let them know that the tower is once again ours. I'll need you to guide me down the stairs. Ugh, curse whoever insisted the Circle be housed in a tower.
Irving? Maker's breath. I did not expect to see you alive.
It is over, Gregor. Uldred is dead.
Uldred tortured these mages, hoping to break their wills and turn them into abominations. We don't know how many of them have turned.
What? Don't be ridiculous.
Of course he'll say that. He might be a blood mage. Don't you know what they did? I won't let this happen again.
I am the Knight Commander here, not you. We have won back the tower. I will accept Irving's assurance that all is well.
But they may have demons within them, lying dormant, lying in wait.
Enough! I have already made my decision. Thank you. You have proven yourself a friend of both the Circle and the Templars. I promised you aid, but with the Circle restored, my duty is to watch the mages. They are free to help you, however. Speak to them. For now, I will have to oversee a sweep of the tower. There may be some survivors, and we should do our best to tend to them. Please excuse me. And Irving, it is good to have you back.
I'm sure we'll be at each other's throats again in no time. Here we are, the tower in disarray, the Circle nearly annihilated. Oh, it could have been much, much worse. I am glad you arrived when you did. It's almost as though the Maker himself sent you. From what Gregor said, it seems that you came here seeking allies. The least we can do is help you against the Darkspawn. I would hate to survive this, only to be overcome by the Blight. You have my word. As first Enchanter, the Circle will join the Grey Wardens in the fight.
Irving, I have a request. I seek leave to follow the Grey Warden.
Wynne, we need you here. The Circle needs you.
I appreciate the sentiment, Irving. But the Circle will do fine without me. The Circle has you. This woman is brave and good, and capable of great things. If she will accept my help, I will help her accomplish her goals.
You were never one to stay in the tower when there was adventure to be had elsewhere.
Why stay when I can be of service elsewhere?
Then I give you leave to follow the Grey Warden. But know that you always have a place here. There is much to be done here, and I must go. You must forgive me for not being a proper host. Orzammar, indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries. Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered. I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate. Ah, if only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives. This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you. You've already done much for the Circle. Now you must see to your duty as a Grey Warden. I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
As you say.
I shall treasure it. Thank you.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? But when I spoke of it to you, I did not truly hope... This is a most fortuitous event. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately. Secrets. My mother has many of them, and this tome represents the one time that they were able to get away from her. I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome. Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken. Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done. Oh, I don't know. I really don't. Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower? The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say. Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured, or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity. Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it. Irving told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle. Stupid or desperate or just curious. He's not the first. He won't be the last. But that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you. Do not squander this time trying to explain why Irving picked you. Accept it, and be the Grey Warden you're supposed to be. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you? There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men. As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they. A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant. If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. Is there something you need? The Circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it. The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the Circle. Perhaps. Is there something you need? I will answer to the best of my ability. People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby. He ran screaming, dripping head and all, to his mother. I was shut up in the barn with a bowl of water and a crust of hard bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later. One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets and even sat me on his shoulders once when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home. Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle. It has been almost a year, hasn't it? Do you miss the tower at all? You can take a mage out of the Circle, but you can't take the Circle out of the mage. Or so Irving used to say. He was joking, but there is some truth to the statement. A mage never really leaves the Circle, and for the rest of your life you will be seen as a Circle mage. But you will always be a mage, especially in the eyes of others. You represent both mages and Grey Wardens, and your actions may reflect well or badly on both groups. Remember that. Oh, but listen to me go on. You start a conversation, and I just run away with it, don't I? I've been mentoring apprentices for so long, it's become something I do unconsciously. I don't know if I could stop even if I wanted to. Generous gift. Thank you ever so much. A generous gift. Thank you ever so much. Oh, marvelous.
Unexpected. Thank you.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
By my ancestors, this is a wonderful gift!
Do you remember our discussion? I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. I didn't want to admit it, even to myself, but those years in Lothering, I yearned for the freedom and the recklessness that I knew in Orlais. The Maker made the world beautiful, but he also made it dangerous. To really experience it, I have to embrace this, not hide away in some nunnery. Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves. I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you.
You are wise to invest in the effectiveness of your followers.
Everything brings us closer to victory.
Is that for me? Really? Wow! Wow! Here, look at this. Do you know what this is? Yes, that's right. Watch as I thrash our enemies with the mighty power of floral arrangements. Feel my thorns, Darkspawn. Ah! I will overpower you with my rosy scent. Or, you know, it could just be a rose. I know that's pretty dull in comparison. Is it that easy to see right through me? Huh. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair and ugliness? I probably should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come, and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since. I thought that I might give it to you, actually. In a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you. I'm glad you like it. I was just thinking, here I am doing all this complaining, and you haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since your joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy. I thought maybe I could say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst all this darkness. I'm glad you like it. Now, if we could move right on past this awkward, embarrassing stage and get right to the steamy bits, I'd appreciate it. Ha ha. Bluff called. Damn, she saw right through me. Well, it doesn't have to be a bluff. Well, I suppose we are in the camp. The tents
right over there. This is true. I'll be... I'll be standing over here until the blushing stops. Just to be, safe. You know how it is.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to... I'm sure you'll be pleased.
I shall do it.
You are good to your troops, Warden.
If there's anything I can do for you, please. I'm sure you'll be pleased.
You're a hard woman to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy. Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader? Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled. It's a bit of a tale, that is. But I'm the one who brought the Grey Wardens back to Ferelden. Well, I was one of the ones. There were a lot of us. Maker's breath, I'm a bit nervous. Honoured to be here, really. After King Marek freed us from the Orlesians, the Grey Wardens begged the King's permission to come into Ferelden, some sort of internal business. Me and a mess of other Warden sympathisers spoke on behalf of your order. Tan Loghain was very much against letting Orlesian Wardens in the kingdom. But Marek, Andraste, bless him, was a fair-minded monarch and he let them in. So that's why I was there when the Wardens and their leader, Genevieve, presented herself to the King. The first Wardens in Ferelden in over a century. Proudest state of my life, that was. Duncan was a bit of a scamp back then. We were of an age and struck up a friendship. The King himself went with the Wardens on their mysterious business. When he returned, he rescinded King Ardland's decree, and the Wardens came back to Ferelden for good. Oh, his stomach's all aflutter. You're welcome. My family, well, past is a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden Commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Ardland banished the Wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles. Hard to say. After King Ardland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride. I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour. Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ardland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour. Soldier's Peak is strategic and symbolic importance. Duncan said that it would be worth it right there. He also hoped to recover lost Warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now. Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new Wardens and meeting with good King Cailan. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance. A 1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.